Hello and welcome to INWA Transfer News, your ultimate source for all Liverpool FC transfer news. Our first news is this. Alexander Isak handed PSG lifeline as 40 million breakthrough triggers transfer merry-go-round. A new avenue has reportedly emerged for Alexander Isak to get his huge money move out of Newcastle after all. Liverpool's pursuit remains at a standstill, with their Premier League rivals refusing to drop their $150 million valuation. Isak's desire to leave hasn't been helped by his club's failure to land top transfer targets and potential replacements. Hugo Ekitike, Benjamin Sesko, and João Pedro have all slipped through their grasp, leaving Isak in limbo just 3 days before their Premier League opener against Aston Villa. Ironically, however, it's Saturday's opponents that may have inadvertently helped the Swedish striker get his move. Villa are currently targeting re-signing Marco Asensio from PSG. The Spanish forward played 21 times on loan for Unai Emery's team last season, scoring 8 goals. To fund that move, club chiefs are negotiating the sale of Jacob Ramsey to Newcastle in a deal that could be confirmed this week. Given he's come through the ranks at Villa Park, the sale of Ramsey would also help the club's financial fair play standing. While the 24-year-old is not a striker, he will boost Newcastle's attacking ranks. It's an addition that could potentially free up Isak's release, because Newcastle would have enough attacking firepower to cover the Swede departing. The 25-year-old has reportedly made it clear he doesn't want to play for the Northeast club again and is now likely to be able to push harder for his move. Liverpool have until 7 p.m. on September 1st to complete a deal. In what could now prove a high-octane clash, they travel to St. James's Park on Monday, August 25th. It remains a possibility that Isak could yet be in red to face his current club. The Reds have thus far indicated they aren't prepared to increase their initial offer of 110 million plus add-ons, but have since raised further funds with the sales of Darwin Núñez and Tyler Morton. Second news. Liverpool transfer news. Live, Alexander Isak latest, Mark Guehi talks. Giovani Leoni move. Liverpool tasted defeat in the Community Shield as Crystal Palace claimed the victory in the season's traditional curtain raiser on penalties. But the new Premier League campaign is now just a couple of days away. On the transfer front, things are still simmering. Alexander Isak remains exiled at Newcastle United amid his desire to move to Anfield. And Eddie Howe said that he does not expect to have the Swede available for the game against Aston Villa this weekend. Elsewhere, Liverpool needs to bring in at least one centre-back. Crystal Palace is open to selling Mark Guehi before losing him for nothing, while Parma wonderkid Giovani Leoni is another target, with talks, though, to have been held for the pair. Arne Slot will address the media on Thursday in a press conference, where he could be asked about both transfers and Bournemouth, who the Reds will play on Friday, and the transfer window is open for another 19 days. Harvey Elliott transfer latest RB Leipzig remain genuinely interested in Harvey Elliott as a potential replacement for Xavi Simons if he leaves by the end of the transfer window, Rudy Galletti told Betway. West Ham, on the other hand, have been admirers of Elliott for quite some time and have shown clear interest in him, but they are hesitant about his 40 million, 54 million valuation. West Ham are also currently exploring the possibility of a loan deal with an option to buy, which should make the deal easier. But, in this moment, Liverpool would prefer a different kind of agreement. They would like a permanent transfer. Alexander Isak domino could fall. Bournemouth is in advanced talks to sign the Moroccan forward Amin Adli from Bayer Leverkusen, according to Ben Jacobs. Leverkusen is seeking $35 million, 26 million, and an agreement is said to be close. Adli is seen as a replacement for Brentford target Dango Ouattara. If that gets done, it could allow Yoane Wissa to join Newcastle. That might be one piece in place for the Magpies' stance to soften on Alexander Isak. Today, Brentford has made Wissa train alone rather than with the main group as its Premier League. Preparations continue ahead of the new campaign kicking off this weekend. Man UTD signing compared to Darwin Núñez. Former Liverpool midfielder Didi Hamann has compared new Manchester United signing Benjamin Sesko to ex-Red striker Darwin Núñez. I'm not sure whether Man Ut fans want to hear it, but I think Núñez is a pretty similar player, he told Casino Hawks. I think Sesko has got the body, he's got the height, he's got the pace. I think he's got a better touch than Núñez. He's technically a very gifted player, but he's a powerful young lad. Núñez is probably the one I would compare him with in recent years. I'd say his finishing is probably a bit better than Núñez, but he's got to prove it. He did it at times at Leipzig. He's in the spotlight now at Manchester United. Obviously, we've also seen that some big names went to Manchester United in the last 10 years as center forwards, and they didn't succeed. It won't be an easy task, but I think he's capable of doing it. Bernardo Silva Guard of Honor explanation. Manchester City midfielder. Bernardo Silva has explained why he refuses to participate in a Guard of Honor after drawing criticism for failing to clap Liverpool in 2020. In my opinion, it's kind of a hypocrisy, the Guard of Honor, Silva told The Times. It's not a tradition we have in Portugal. If they want to do it, they can do it. But I wasn't going to clap Liverpool because that's not how I celebrate defeat. When I win a title, I don't need anyone else to clap for me. Kostas Tsimikas. Interest Kostas Tsimikas could move to Nottingham Forest this summer, according to the Greek outlet Sportkal. It says that Evangelos Marinakis would be keen to bring his fellow countrymen to the City ground. At some point, the report says Tsimikas would like to return to Greece. Olympiacos, it says, would be interested at some stage, but not yet, and the 29-year-old wants to remain at the top of the game for now anyway. Hugo Ekitike back to make his mark. Liverpool summer signing. Hugo Ekitike has been back to make a big impact in the Premier League after sealing a 106,079 million switch from Eintracht Frankfurt. Ekitike is a brilliant young player, former Liverpool midfielder Didi Hamann told Casino Hawk. Speaking to people at Frankfurt, he's a great team player and is very focused. Sometimes young kids get a tag of being a bit flashy and lacking focus, but what I hear from Frankfurt and what I've seen, especially since his strike partner Omar Marmoush joined Manchester City in January, is that he still scores goals and is very well liked within the camp. He works hard and obviously scores goals well. I think he's a brilliant player. Obviously, we need to wait and see what's happening with Alexander Isak and how they line up and shape up once the window is closed, but I think he will make his mark in the Premier League very quickly. Gary Neville on Liverpool title chances. Gary Neville has admitted that Liverpool will be massive favourites to win the Premier League title again this season if Arne Slot's side can get a transfer deal for Alexander Isak over the line. Liverpool won it really comfortably last year and have had a great transfer window, Neville said, via the Daily Express, ahead of the new campaign kicking off. If they get Isak, which it looks like he's agitating for a move, then it will make them massive favourites. But Manchester City, Arsenal, and Chelsea, I think, will push them closer than last year. Mark Guehi and Giovani Leoni at 25 and homegrown. Mark Guehi would be a strong option for Liverpool to consider at the right price. Likewise, Giovani Leoni is very highly rated, and his valuation would not be prohibitive. Guehi has long been thought to be open to a move to Liverpool, with no other interested parties having moved forward with a move for him this summer. Leoni, meanwhile, is also keen to join the Anfield side, according to Fabrizio Romano. The 18-year-old has also drawn interest from both Milan clubs. Alexander Isak latest. The Newcastle striker still wants to sign for Liverpool, and the Reds still want to sign him. But so far, the Magpies haven't been able to bring in a replacement, and he therefore isn't going anywhere just yet. On Tuesday, it emerged in the Times that Isak had vacated his house in the northeast and is still pushing for an exit. What next? For Liverpool, the hope must be that Newcastle gets a deal over the line for at least one of its targets. Third news. Liverpool to pay around 25 Mabert to secure Giovani Leoni signing. Liverpool are progressing in their pursuit of Giovani. Leoni, with advanced negotiations now underway. According to Sky Sports, the Reds are in direct contact with Parma as they aim to finalize a deal for the highly rated Italian defender. The proposed fee is expected to fall within the 25 million, 30 million range, with both clubs working to settle the final details. Leoni, who has already given his approval to the move, is keen on joining Arne Slot's squad immediately. Liverpool view the teenage defender as a long-term asset, and talks are now focused on structure and add-ons. Alexander Isak's disrespectful behavior is a major red flag for Arne Slot and Liverpool. Nicky Butt has said that Alexander Isak's disrespectful behavior at Newcastle United should be a red flag for Liverpool. The Swedish striker has seemingly burned his bridges on Tyneside, with reports suggesting he has claimed he will never play for the Magpies again. The 25-year-old, who only arrived at St. James's Park in a $63 million move from Real Sociedad in 2022, has long been coy about his future, which could now be at Liverpool given their interest in the striker. While the Reds saw an opening offer of 110 million plus add-ons swiftly rebuffed by Newcastle, it is thought that last season's Premier League winners could soon return with a fresh bid, but only if Newcastle's stance changes. The Magpies are not willing to let Isak leave unless their $150 million valuation of the player is met and they are able to recruit a replacement. The situation in the Northeast has turned ugly given Isak's recent defiance, with the player training separately from the first team after missing Eddie Howe's preseason tour of Asia. And Butt, who played for the Toon Army between 2004 and 2010, believes that Isak's behavior should come as a major red flag for Arne Slot and Liverpool. Speaking exclusively to Mirror Football via BetMGM, the 50-year-old said, "I've never met Isak in my life. He always looked like a really decent guy on the football pitch, but I think the way he's behaved has been really disrespectful to the football club, and knowing what the fans are like up there, you know, I wish him all the best." He added, "It would be a red flag for me if I was a manager, but you don't know what's been said to the boy. You might have said the only way you're getting out is by going and kicking up a fuss, and if this is your dream to play for this football club, then you've got to go and maybe be out of character for a while, so you don't know what goes on. And I think there's a lot of games with agents in modern-day football, and it's just sad. I mean, I'm sure if Isak went into the football club and said, 'I want to play for Liverpool or my boyhood club or whatever that might be, and I need to leave, I don't want to kick up a fuss, but I will do if you don't help me out here.' Thank you for watching. Like and comment. Subscribe.